A radical is any expression with a square root. This is what a square root looks like. Cubed root, etc. So this would be a fourth root, a fifth root. This symbol is called the radical symbol. So we're going to list the first 20 perfect squares. So I'm going to start. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. Can y'all continue for me?
16, 25, 36.
Okay, pause. Y'all look bored. Y'all sound bored.
Oh, 49.
And mad. Okay.
49.
64. 64. 100.
Okay, so guys, these are the first 10. And then 11 squared is 121. 12 squared is 144. Can you guys continue all the way to 20 squared, which would be 400? All right, guys, these are your first 20 perfect squares.
That's a lot.
You know the square roots of all of these. The square root of this one is 6. The square root of this one is 9. The square root of this one is 15. Okay? So those are the perfect squares. You easily can take the square root of those numbers, right? So what's the square root of 49?
7.
It's just 7. Please do not put square root of 7. It's just 7. Okay. What's the square root of 225? 15. I'm going to pause here. I want you guys to give me what the answer is. I'll give you a few moments to think about it.
24.
Nice. So the square root of 144 is 12. And you're multiplying that by 2. So this is equal to 24. 2 times 12 is 24. Okay, let's do this one over here. What's the square root of 36?
6.
What's the square root of 121?
11.
That's your answer. You can think of this as the square root of 36 divided by the square root of 121. You can write them both ways. All right, let's try one where we don't know the square root of this one. That's not on our list. So we're going to have to break it down. So let me show you how we should break it down. 2 times what will give me 578? What's 578 divided by 2?
289.
Yes, 289. Is 289 on my list?
Yeah.
289, what are the two numbers?
17.
17 times 17 is 289?
Yep.
Okay, great. So that means this can be written as 3 times the square root of 2 times the square root of 289. Because these two together is the square root of 578. And you told me that this is 17. So this is 3 times 17 times the square root of 2. 3 times 17 is 51. So this is your answer. Okay, what you probably did in Algebra 1 is your teacher probably said this is 17 and 17. Whatever is a pair goes on the outside, and whatever is not a pair just stays inside. And then you have a 3 on the outside. So this is 51 square roots of 2. You like that better? Okay.
Yes. That's hard.
Next one, 5 square root of 72. I can look at this and say 72 is 36 times 2. And I know the square root of 36. That's just 6. So this is 5 times 6 times the square root of 2. 5 times 6 is 30. So that is your answer. What you probably did was you broke this down even more into 6 and 6. That's a pair, it goes outside. Whatever it doesn't have a pair, it stays on the inside. Square root of 112. Let's break it down. 2 times what is 112? 56, yep. And let's break down 56. What are two numbers? 7 and 8, okay. Let's break down the 8. What can that be?
4 and 2.
4 and 2. And then let's break down the 4. What can that be?
2.
2 and 2. Okay, so here's a pair of 2s that goes outside. Here's another pair of 2's that goes outside, and the 7 doesn't have a pair. So this is 4 square roots of 7. So what you could have also done, you could have seen, let's see, you could have seen 112 can be broken down into 16 times 7. 16 times 7 is also 112, and the square root of 16 is 4, and that just stays there. So those are the 2 ways. So square root of 245. What are 2 numbers that can multiply to 245? 5 and 49. Oh, well, I know the square root of 49 is 7. So this is just 7 square roots of 5. However, if you kept breaking it down, you could do 7 and 7. That is your pair. It goes outside. This is not your pair, so that goes there. So this is your answer. I'm just going to make one up. Let's do 104. What are 2 numbers that multiply to 104? 2 and 52. And let's break down the 52. 2 and what? 26. And then 2 and what?
13 and 2.
Okay, so guys, here's a pair of 2's that goes outside. This does not have a pair. So 2 times 13, that's 26. So this would be your answer. I wanted you guys to see an example where you have 2 things left over. Because that's a possibility. Whatever is left over, you just multiply them together and it goes underneath here. Whatever is a pair will go outside.
Okay, so this one we're going to break down the 45. What can you break it down into?
9 and
Yep, 9 and 5. Can you break, or what's the square root of 9?
3.
So this will be 9 times 3 times the square root of 5, which is 27 square root of 5. If you continue to break it down, this would be 3 and 3, correct?
Yes.
Here's a pair, it goes right there.
Oh, so what I do?
Okay? If a quadratic equation can be written in the form x squared equals n, then you can use the square root property. Okay, so this is what the square root property says. If you have x squared equals n, then your answer will be x equals plus or minus square root of n. So what you would do is you would take the square root of both sides, so that would cancel out. So this is your answer, but you would have a positive and a negative version of it. So a quick example, let's say you had x squared equals 25. Let's say that's the equation. You would square root both sides so that those cancel out. You're left with x, and the square root of 25 is 5. But we're going to put a plus and minus because those are both your answers. The reason why is, let's go back to the original problem. If I plug in a positive 5, 5 squared is 25. If I plug in a negative 5, negative 5 times negative 5 is also a positive 25. So there's 2 answers. Okay? So guys, every time you solve these square root problems, you need to place a plus or minus to indicate both of your answers. Because there's 2. 5 squared is 25 and negative 5 is 25 when you square it. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through these steps with an actual problem. So the very first step is to rewrite it so that you get it like this. So I need to get the x squared by itself. So what I'm going to do first is subtract 8 from both sides. So I'm left with 7x squared equals 15 minus 8 is 7. We're almost done. We're getting closer and closer to looking like this. The next thing I need to do is divide by 7. So I am left with x squared equals 1. And that looks like this. Okay, that's your first step. You want the squared to equal a number. All right, let's look back at the next step. We did that part. It says take the square root of both sides. So that's the next step. Square root this side and square root this side so that the square root and the squared cancel out. We're left with x equals, the square root of 1 is just 1. Last step, make sure you put a plus or minus sign in front. So your answer is +1 and -1. Okay, you could always plug it back in to check. 1 squared is 1 times 7 is 7 plus 8 is 15. That works. -1. -1 squared is a +1 times 7 is 7 plus 8 is 15. So they both work when you plug it back in. Let's try another one. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is divide both sides by a -2. So I am left with x plus 7 squared equals 20. And that's the format that I want it in. I want the x squared equaling a number. So I have something squared equaling a number. So that's the first step. Step 2, you're going to take the square root of both sides. So I'm going to get rid of the square root. So the square root cancels out with this squared, and square root this side as well. I'm left with x plus 7 equals plus or minus the square root of 20. That was step 3 right there. Simplify the radical and place the plus or minus symbol. So we need to simplify this. Can you guys give me 2 numbers that multiply to 20?
2 and 7.
5 and 4.
Okay. And the square root of 4, well, that's 2 and 2.
Yeah.
So that's a pair, so that goes on the outside. This is left over. So guys, that is how you simplify it. Equals x plus 7. I'm almost done, guys. I just need to get rid of this 7. So I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. So this is your final answer. X is equal to this. And I like to put the number in the front, and then I like to put the radical in the back. But if you keep it like this, you're not wrong. This is just the way you would see it in a textbook and stuff like that. What do I do first?
You subtract the 4.
Yep, subtract the 4. Thank you, Hagen. So now I get -3x squared equals, what's this? Yep, -81. Oops. All right, now what do I do?
Divide by -3.
Yep, divide by a -3. So I get x squared equals 27. All right, from here, so guys, we got it in the correct format. From here, we're going to square root both sides. So I'm left with x equals plus or minus the square root of 27.
3 and 3.
Now, let's see if we can break this down.
9 and 3.
Yep, 9 and 3, and this is 3 and 3, correct? So that's a pair that goes outside, and that didn't have a pair, so it just stays in the radical. So that's your answer, guys. All right, what do I do first, guys?
Square both. Oh, square both. Yeah,
There we go.
I thought it was wrong.
Square root both sides. So I'm left with x plus 2 equals, what's this?
7.
Positive or -7, because the square root of 49 is 7. From here, we want x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 2. So that means your answer is a +7 minus 2 is what? 5. And then a -7 minus 2 is what? -9. There we go. So if you were to plug these back into here, you'll get 49. Y'all want to test it out?
Sure.
Okay. So if I erase this x and put a 5 right there, what's 5 plus 2? Is 7 squared 49?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that one worked. And let's plug in a -9. What's -9 plus 2?
-7.
And then is -7 squared a +49?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, so those both worked.